and he had thrown it out the window.
Was that on the 29th of June when this all was going on?
Yes,
Did you, after receiving that information, a letter, attempt to go and look for your phone?
I did.
All right. Is anybody with you?
I think my best friend was. I think we all went together looking. Yeah, we searched and searched for like a full day, and we were looking through tall grasses, anywhere that he could have thrown it. We were logically, we searched both sides as far as what we would think that you could throw a cell phone while driving, and searched the weeds, all of it. We even searched the drainage ditches and stuff on the side.
All right. Were you successful in locating your phone?
No, it wasn't there.
All right. How long of a period of time after your daughter disappeared did you continue to correspond with the defendant actively, other than in regards to Haley?
Maybe a year.
All right. And do you remember when this whole issue of you getting married so you'd have visitation came up?
I think it was right after the first conviction.
Okay. During the course of your exchange of letters with the defendant, did you on more than one occasion ask him for, where Kate was, and ask him for an explanation of what had happened that day?
Yes,
In fact, on more than one occasion, did you ask him questions about where Kate was?
I did.
Okay. And during your visits with the defendant, did you in fact ask him where Kate was?
Yes,
All right. And during your phone calls with Kate, did you ask him, with the defendant, did you ask him where Kate was?
I did.
Too much stuff here. I just have one moment here. Ariel Court reporter. Ms. Courtland, I'm going to hand you what's been marked People's Proposed Exhibit number 12 for identification. Ask you if you recognize the handwriting.
I do.
Is that your handwriting?
Yes.
And have you seen that letter before?
Yes,
All right. That a letter you wrote to Sean?
it is.
Okay, and does that one have a postmark on it?
No.
All right. Is there appear to be, you've seen that letter before, is that accurate?
Yes.
And does there appear to be anything different? I know it's not the original copy, but does there appear to be anything different about it?
I don't think so.
People move to admit people's proposed exhibit number 12.
No objection now.
Exhibit 12 to admit.
Ms. Courtland, I'm not going to go through this whole letter. I'm going to refer you to the last 2 pages for now, because the jurors will have the whole letter in their packet, okay?
Okay.
So just move this along. Do you recall how you ended this letter to the defendant?
Maybe if we wrote a
Would that
lot of
refresh your
letters.
memory?
Yeah.
I understand. I ask you to take a moment, beginning at the star. If you could just read down that and then on to the next page, and then I have a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
Does that refresh your memory as to some of the things you said in that letter to the defendant?
Yes.
And did you send that letter off to the defendant?
Yes.
All right. Can you tell the members of the jury this letter that you wrote to the defendant, just kind of as a generalization, what type of a letter was it?
I was asking him if he could indicate to me yes or no if Kate was alive or dead.
All right. Did you say anything else to him?
To indicate at the bottom of the paper.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you ask him to trust you with the information?
Yes.
All right. And did you tell him in this letter that you were Kate's mom?
Yes.
And you deserve to know?
Yes.
Did you tell him that you needed closure?
I did.
All right. Did you ask him, don't I deserve that?
Yes.
All right. Did you tell him if you really love me, you would not want me to be in pain, and you'd want me to have closure?
Also, it's been admitted as exhibit, so I
It
think
has
it
been
speaks for
admitted,
itself.
the letter does speak for itself.
Well, the jury needs to hear what's in the letter, Judge.
That's why we're going to publish it to the jury.
Okay? Ms. Courtland, let me ask you this in general. Did you ask a number of, or tell the defendant in a number of different ways in this letter that you were entitled to the information?
Your Honor, I would object as a reading.
Well, Judge, are we gonna-
Publish it to the,
And then are we gonna give the jury an opportunity to read it?
Hang on just a minute. You're worried about that being a leading. She's asked if she put that in the letter.
correct.
I'm going to overrule that. I thought we'd been through most of this letter. Or what are we doing now?
Judge, I'd ask for, we have copies of the letter for the jury book, so I'd ask for an opportunity to publish that to the jury and put in their books so I can.
That's really what I was intending when I had
Okay.
asked that as exhibits were admitted, that we have copies
We
presented
do.
to the jury and then put in their jury book.
Yes,
And that was part of my pretrial order.
right. We have them, Judge.
And then let's do that.
All right. going to publish these to the jury?
Is there 14 of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll publish these to the jury, or pass them out.
Pass them out, please. While we're on it, counsel, what are we doing about exhibits? The other,
The certified records that are in the middle before 11.
well, if they've been admitted, plus exhibit number 2, 3, I forget what one was.
One was picture, Your Honor, 2 was birth certificate.
One was the what?
Picture,
The
Catherine.
picture, okay. Well, the question I have is, except for physical objects, the material that was, written material was to be copies prepared for each of the jurors and put in the jury book. Now, have you done that for the exhibits that have been admitted?
The only written one so far is the one that they've just been doing right now, Your Honor.
Okay, we haven't admitted the intervening
birth
ones.
certificate, I'm sorry.
And we've got 2 and 3.
Your Honor,
Is it your intent not to present those 2?
no, Judge, what those are, number 1 through 5 are certified records. In my pretrial list that I prepared, we're gonna admit those. We'll probably do it at the end of the day today. So 1 through 5, I'm sorry, that was.
1 through 5 were
Let me,
admitted.
yeah, let me clarify that.
And I'm
We
asking
had them
about-
on our list as 1 through 5. Those weren't there, so we jumped ahead at the lunch break. We've admitted so far, number 1, the picture of Catherine, number 2, the birth certificate, number 3, the birth announcement, number 4, Kate's clothing, number 5, the car seat.
All right,
And then we
numbers.
jumped to 11.
Are you saying you don't want any 1 through 3 in the jury's jury book?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, no, we do, Judge.
Do you have copies for the jury?
Want to do it right now?
Might as well.
Okay.
We'll take, I'll go off the record while you publish to the jurors the things that have been admitted,
Okay.
which is what I was trying to get across.
It's just the birth certificate, Judge. That's the only one. Yeah. before I ask more questions, I will give the jury an opportunity.
We're not on the record yet.
Oh, sorry.
Now, what exhibits, the first three have you given to the jury?
Birth certificate.
Let's go on the record. What exhibits of the first three have you given to the jury?
Number 2, Your Honor.
Number 2 only?
Yes.
Okay. Number 11?
Love his voicemail, Your Honor.
Number 12?
And number 12 has not been admitted yet. Oh, and number 12
Well,
is this
was-
letter that they've just gotten.
12 was admitted. I believe that was the first document we were talking about.
Yes. I'm handing you what's been marked People's Proposed Exhibit number 13 for identification. Do you recognize what that is? Take a moment.
Yes.
All right. And what is that?
The letter that I received from Sean at some point.
All right. And is there a postmark on that? On the front page?
Yes.
All right. What is that postmark?
August 7th, 2012.
Okay. Does that appear to be, I know it's a copy, the original sealed here in plastic, but does that appear to be the same letter, albeit a copy of the original?
Yes.
People move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 13.
Any objection?
I don't have any objection as far as conditional admittance. I believe there'll be other testimony regarding issues with that letter. That was a firm of issues that have been discussed and raised in previous proceedings in this court.
So you have no objections to what about publication to the jury at this point?
Again, I don't think there's an issue with publication. I believe that based on the witnesses that they intend to call, that those issues will be clarified through additional testimony.
So,
Are you talking about as far as actually giving the letter to the jury at this
Yes.
time? Oh, no, I don't think that's appropriate until the other testimony.
so you're not admitting it, you're not consenting to the admission at this time, subject to something being tied up?
Correct, Your Honor. I believe there will be additional testimonies in regards to issues of...
Tell you what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would take a break for 10 minutes, we'll try to figure out what's going on, and we'll see you back here at 1:45. We stand in recess for the next 2 minutes. We'll use the restroom if you wish.
I did.
Go back on the record. I'm a little confused, counsel. Does this go to the question of the expert testimony about whether or not he wrote that, or is that something else?
Correct, Your Honor. And I believe there were some proposed stipulations, but those haven't been discussed whether or not, I guess, we're going to stipulate to the issues
Or
regarding this.
she's identifying that it's something written by Sean to her. It seems to me we don't need identification if you're acknowledging that it can be admitted. And maybe she hasn't stipulated to that, but if it's in as evidence that he has written it, then we dispense with any expert testimony. It's just unnecessary. This shortens up this trial a bit. Are you conceding that it was in fact written by him?
Well, and that's what I would like some time to discuss as far as the stipulations that they proposed regarding.
All right, Why don't you take a few minutes to discuss that and meet me in chambers after you discuss that? We stand in recess.
I'll call Coleman too, if you want. I'll call both of them. I was just trying to make it easier.
John, where's John? I'll go find John.